Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss part 2 of the chapter in the earliest cities. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the new crafts, raw materials, food, and the Harappan towns in Gujarat. So let's start. The Harappans also made seals out of stone. These are generally rectangular and usually have an animal carved on them. The Harappans also made pots with beautiful black designs. Seals may have been used to stamp bags or packets containing goods that were sent from one place to another. The impression of the seal is known as sealing. As you can see in these pictures, we have an image of stones, seals, then different ornaments, sculptures, carvings, etc. And embroidered cloth and a stone statue of an important man found from Mohenjo-daro shows him wearing an embroidered garment. Faience. What is faience? Unlike stone or shell, they are found naturally. Faience is a material that is artificially produced. A gum was used to shape sand or powdered quartz into an object. The objects were then glazed, resulting in a shiny, glassy surface. The colors of the glaze were usually blue or sea green. Faience was used to make beads, bangles, earrings, and tiny vessels. Now we will talk about raw materials. What is raw material and its use in Harappan civilization? Copper, tin, gold, silver, and precious stones had to be brought from distant places. The Harappans probably got copper from present day Rajasthan and even from Oman in West Asia. Raw materials are substances that are either found naturally like wood or other metals. These are then processed to produce finished goods, while some of the raw materials that the Harappans used were available locally. Then tin, which was mixed with copper to produce bronze, may have been brought from Afghanistan and Iran. Gold from Karnataka and precious stones from Gujarat, Iran and Afghanistan. Now we will talk about food for people in the cities. Farmers and herders supplied food to crafts, persons, scribes, and rulers in the cities. Many people lived in the cities, others living in the countryside, grew crops, and reared animals. We know from remains of plants that the Harappans grew wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed and mustard that we have already discussed in our live class about the economic activities of Harappan civilization. A new tool, the plough, was used to dig the earth for turning the soil and planting seeds, while real ploughs, which were probably made of wood, have not survived. Toy models have been found. As this region does not receive heavy rainfall, some form of irrigation may have been used. This means that water was stored and supplied to the fields when the plants were growing. Now let's have a closer look on the Harappan towns in Gujarat. The city of Dholavira was located on Khadir Bath, also spelled as Beth, in the run of Kutch, where there was fresh water and fertile soil. Dholavira was divided into three parts, rest cities too, and Each part was surrounded with massive stone walls with entrances through gateways. There were also a large open area in the settlement where public ceremonies could be held. Other finds include large letters of Harappan script that were carved out of white stone and perhaps inlaid in wood. This is a unique find as generally Harappan writing has been found on small objects such as seals. The city of Lothal stood beside a tributary of the Sabarmati in Gujarat, close to the Gulf of Khambat. It was situated near areas where raw materials such as semi-precious stones were easily available. This was an important center for making objects out of stone, shell and metal. The mystery of the end. Around 3900 years ago, we find the beginning of a major change. People stopped living in many of the cities. In Mohenjo-daro, we find that garbage piled up on the streets, the drainage system broke down, and new, less impressive houses were built even over the streets. Why did all this happen? We are not sure. Some scholars suggest that the rivers dried up. Others suggest that there was deforestation. This could have happened because fuel was required for baking bricks and for smelting copper ores. Besides grazing by large herds of cattle, sheep and goat may have destroyed the green cover. In some areas, there were floods, but none of these reasons can explain the end of all the cities. Flooding or a river drying up would have had an effect in only some areas. It appears as if the rulers lost control. In any case, the effects of the change are quite clear. Sites in Sindh and West Punjab are abundant, while many people moved into newer, smaller settlements to the east and the south. So that's all for today, children. Now this chapter is completed. In this chapter, I hope you all have gathered a lots of information about the Indus Valley civilization, about Mohenjo-daro and Harappan civilization, and the construction of Kalibanga and Lothal in Gujarat, and the end and decline of this civilization. In our next video, we will come up with a new chapter. Till then, everyone, take care. Bye bye.